All right, we are live. Welcome everybody to the Canto Online Hackathon Judgment Day, Chapter 1, Season 1. I'm Robin Whitney. I'm coming to you from the Canto public account here, and we have on stage many judges and mentors from this season of the CO. I'm just going to run through really quick what the CO is, and we'll jump in. This is the first Canto Online Hackathon for apps, infrastructure, and original work. Each CO season invites builders to launch their project on Canto, access DeFi native mentors and judges like the ones you see here on stage, and win from 300,000 Canto in prizes. I'm just going to go through the prizes really quick. The overall winner is going to be awarded 100,000 Canto. Categories winners are going to receive 40,000 Canto, and projects earning the distinction of notable build will earn a share of 40,000 Canto rewards pool, so that could go to multiple winners. And the categories are ecosystem support, NFTs, DeFi, and new things, which we hope to be the most divergent and expressive projects for the ecosystem. Congrats to all the teams that entered. We've got them here in the chat. Without further ado, let's meet some of these judges. If you guys can just go ahead and intro yourself. The ones you don't see on stage here are actually going to review the projects later and be voting for the winners, which will be announced tomorrow. Let's kick it off. Scott, do you want to say a few words?
Yeah, I'm Scott. Been building different companies and also some projects. Did the mechanism design for Canto. Yeah.
Fair enough. I'll move along in the view that I see. Alex, you're coming in from Australia, I think. So thanks for joining us on a weird hour. Can you give yourself an intro? Oh, seems like we got some mic issues. Unfortunately, we can't hear you, Alex, but I'll just intro for you that this is Alex Komarov. He is from my Ether wallet and Mew Mobile, and they believe they have a new product, Encrypt. I will move along to Maria Paula. Can you give yourself a short intro?
Sure. Hi, everyone. Maria Paula here, or MP for short, and I'm the co-founder of JPEG, founder at the Department of Decentralization, and yeah, I've been in DeFi before, now selling JPEGs. Yeah, very happy to be here.
Cool. Joseph.eth.
Hi, I'm Joe Delong. I am founder of Astaria.XYZ, which is an NFT collateralized lending platform, and former developer at Sushi.
Thanks for joining. Austin Griffith.
What's up? I'm Austin Griffith. I do developer onboarding and tooling for Ethereum. If you want to get in and learn how to build, go to speedrunethereum.com.
Nice. Derek Walkush.
Hey, my name's Derek. I'm one of the investment partners on the investment team at Variant.fund. We're a dedicated early stage crypto fund, and I primarily cover DeFi.
And Zach?
Hello, it's your boy Zach Cole. I am CTO of Slingshot, so please visit slingshot.finance. Thank you.
I think we have been. Clinton Bembry.
Hey, y'all. I'm a co-founder and CEO of Slingshot with Zach and Scott Lewis. We're a DEX aggregator on Canto and other EVM chains. Check us out.
Cool. All right. Well, I'm just going to prepare the first team's video and we'll go ahead and watch together. They are called THOTH, and I will be inviting some of the members to stage as well. Maybe while I set that up, there was some chat in the green room. What is Canto-ish? There's a few judging criteria that the judges are meant to kind of measure the projects by. And one of them is how Canto-ish a project is. Maybe Scott, you could give some context.
Yeah, I don't know if there's like a specific explicit criteria, but I think like when we're thinking about what we want Canto, what we want to make Canto special, or like what makes it different from a lot of the other like stuff out there, sort of like, I don't know, like originality, authenticity, like, you know, we're sort of not trying to be the most corporate project in the space. And so I don't know, it's sort of like kind of like everyone can judge their own idea of what Canto-ish means, but like it's kind of like a vibe or a culture or values kind of all mixed together, I think.
Hi there. My name is Jeff Costello. I'm one of the contributors to Team THOTH in the Canto Online Hackathon Season 1. We're really excited with what we've built. We're really excited to share with the judges, and I want to give you a quick
I think it's on mute.
overview
Is it supposed to be
of what it is
playing the audio right now?
in the next couple days here. So Thoth is the
Sorry,
ancient Egyptian
the
god
audio's not
of
coming through for you?
wisdom, writing, and
Here.
judgment. He's the
Oh,
one,
okay.
when you die,
Oh, sorry.
who
Let me-
weighs your heart
let me
against a
try
feather
again.
to see if it's light enough to take you to the next couple days here. So Thoth is the ancient Egyptian god of wisdom, writing, and judgment. He's the one, when you die, who weighs your heart against a feather to see if it's light enough to take you to the valley of the reeds and to everlasting peace in the afterlife. And what we wanted to build with Thoth was something that acts like that, acts like somebody who can weigh your decisions, make sure you're enforcing your agreements, and prove that to the world. So what we've built is something that's really simple, really simple, but very, very useful to a broad spectrum of audiences and consumers and users in the DeFi, crypto, DAO space, but also something that is totally paradigm changing, that's never been seen before. And I think we've done some looking around, and I don't think any other projects have done something similar to Thoth. It's such a simple idea, and it's not kind of in the normal stream of DeFi and the typical apps that get built. I had to leave it to a lawyer and a team of people who believed in that to build it. And we've got a great team here. Both myself and Shiv are members of LexDAO. And then we've got Zodomo and Thomas, who've been fantastic developers and working in the back end on the testing and stuff. And again, we're just really excited to share this. So what the hell actually is it? So Thoth is a prayer for mutual remembrance. And really the best way to think about Thoth is it's a decentralized DocuSign. To cut to the chase, that's what it is. Each party, or a single party, can upload a PDF document. It's a legal agreement to IPFS through our front end. That IPFS hash then gets captured and prompts the counterparty to go and sign the document. So when the counterparty logs in with their wallet through the Thoth front end, they can see that there's a document there waiting for them to sign it. They can review that document through the IPFS hash and the link, and they will be able to execute that. Once it's executed, the parties have a way to prove that somebody else has agreed to this agreement. That's all done publicly on the blockchain in a decentralized way. That either party can then, after the fact, prove to a court in the real world that there was a real agreement here, and that was kind of the standard we were looking for. And I think we've achieved it. We wanted to build a system where after people have executed an agreement, they could actually prove to a court if the other party didn't fulfill it. Now, why would you actually want to use this? Well, there's lots of things, as great as smart contracts are, there are lots of things out there that are hard to put into smart contract form. Maybe they're too big, maybe ideas are too complex, maybe they're words like, best efforts or reasonableness or things that lawyers throw around that just don't get brought in very often and are hard to bring into a smart contract form. So Thoth lets people capture those ideas, whether that document is generated by a lawyer initially, whether it's generated by the parties themselves, or maybe there's a repository like Open Law that can help people prepare those documents to sign it. Thoth allows those parties to bring themselves together, bind themselves to Thoth, and prove to the world that they've entered an agreement. So again, really useful cases here, DAO to DAO agreements. DAOs can actually, when they do business together, can vote on this through their voting mechanisms to sign the transactions and prove that they've entered an agreement with another DAO and show that to their users. Employees for DAOs can do the same thing. You don't need to necessarily be a legal entity to execute these documents. A multi-sig could be a good kind of substitute for that. It's a way to bring new ideas into the EVM that aren't easily captured in Solidity or smart contract law. So we're really be able to do that. And what we want to do is automate and streamline legal processes for Web3 users, whether that's on Canto or Ethereum or anywhere else, that will let them not talk to a lawyer, not have to go see a notary, not have to deal with paperwork in real life, but can do all those things in the environment that they're used to on chain. So we're really excited about this. We think that it opens a whole new world of development to fork this idea to people to play upon it and to extend it with kind of precedents and other types of ways to do agreements. But again, we're really excited with what we've built here. We think the idea is simple enough to rapidly kind of iterate on it, and we are absolutely thrilled to share it with you and the rest of the Canto team this weekend. Thank you.
All right, I've been inviting some of the members of THOTH to stage.
Hello. Are you guys able to hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
My name is Zotimo. I helped write the Solidity for Thoth, and I'm excited to be able to show it and present it to all of you.
Awesome. Hi, I'm Thomas. I've been a bit of a wild card on the Thoth team. I ended up doing a kind of interim front end, which is the first front end I've built in my life. So it's super buggy, but I built out some IPFS upload functionality and some message signing functionality so that in a single place you could upload your agreement, interact with the contract, and sign messages as necessary. And yeah, super excited to.
So what do you guys do in the smart contracts? It makes sense that you would have ECDSA signatures, you have IPFS to store the files and maybe even the signatures, but what happens in the smart contract and how is that set up?
So effectively what the smart contract does is it requires an initiator party, like whoever's starting the whole process, right? They connect to the web or the app, they put in their name, they name the contract or give it a description, they upload their document to IPFS and it retrieves that hash. And then they also include the counterparty, like the counterparty's address, and then they give them a name as well. So they put in all of the necessary information to build effectively all of the metadata around the contract. And then the Thoth contract will then create a unique hash utilizing all of that packed data such that collisions cannot happen, so that it pretty much creates a unique identifier to that set of metadata. So you have the counterparty addresses, their names, a description, and the IPFS hash. Then both parties will utilize the ECDSA curve stuff to effectively sign that hash. And once both of them have created their unique signatures, they upload their signatures back into the smart contract. And then the smart contract then uses the ECDSA verification logic to basically prove that the signatures are valid and that the data that they signed is what they're basically saying they signed. And then after both signatures are collected, one of the parties can then call an execution function that basically just says on the chain that the contract has gone into effect.
So it's basically like data availability. All of that stuff you can do off chain, but what you're using the blockchain for is data availability, making sure these signatures are live and people can get to them at any time.
True, but also we can utilize the contract hash that was signed by both parties, and those parties can actually include that in their TX data whenever they're transacting on chain or interacting with smart contracts, whatever have you, such that those transactions can be tied to something that they agreed to on chain. It basically allows for parties to build effectively what is, I'm trying to think of the right word. It's like they can prove that the transactions that they were making were for an agreement that they agreed to earlier, effectively. It allows them.
They're fulfilling that agreement on chain.
Exactly.
And it allows them to prove if one person was to back out of an agreement, they can always use a single side of the chain to prove that they know who signed on the other side and that somebody reviewed that and that they can sign it, so that if they ever have to go in front of a judge, they could actually bring the metadata to the court and prove that.
Yeah, we believe this system is well designed enough such that it would hold up in court.
That was the goal.
So like hypothetically, like if we had some sort of like distribution deal, and like the actual transactions for the goods, we could just like parse the whole chain and look for the hashes that relate to the contract, and then we don't necessarily have to have this like discovery and auditing period when we try to settle our disputes.
Correct.
Exactly. It gives all of the transactions traceability. And
although we only built like a two-party contract, it should be pretty easy to extend that in structs to multi-parties. And I know a lot of DEXs, use front ends. where a transaction gets signed basically by the wallet that agrees that they don't live in North Korea or Iran or some sort of kind of blocked country. And this can all be now done kind of directly pointing to some sort of actual legal agreement that actually any party could then go back in time and sign. Because I've done those DEX agreements, and I don't know if I could find the wording again if I wanted to once I've signed it with a wallet. So now it's actually something that any party can go back to and point to and say, at this point in time, we agreed to this and everybody signed it on these blocks.
Cool.
Cool. Thank you so much. Awesome presentation. And I'm sure the judges will be digging into the repo, and we'll reach out if we have more questions.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
We'll get the next presentation up and ready. This is Team Prompt.
Hi, everyone. This is our submission for the Canto Hackathon, PromptNFT. It's a platform that enables crowdsourcing of AI-generated NFTs through a contest model. So over the past year, with the crypto bear market and recessionary environment, NFT sales volume has decreased by 84%, resulting in a rather pessimistic narrative. However, over the past year, there's also been rapid growth in the narrative around AI and AI-generated art, as we can see from the relative volume of AI art-related search terms below. This galvanized us to think about the ways in which AI could provide utility for NFTs. So let's motivate this by thinking through some pain points and how we can solve them. First of all, it's difficult and requires expertise to design NFTs well, like graphic design and potentially full teams. Well, that's an easy one for us. AI can do all the work here with just a simple prompt. The second issue is that NFTs aren't enough. You also need to kind of put in the resources to build a thriving community. Well, PromptNFT relies on a contest model. The contest participants become your community and build buzz for you. Lastly, NFTs often don't have much intrinsic value in many communities. Well, we incentivize holding PromptNFTs by providing exclusive benefits tied to the platform itself, like more easily facilitating contest creation and much more. So there's a variety of potential use cases here. Polygon could create a contest to design a logo for a new scaling solution. Drop could crowdsource AI-generated art for its digital fashion collection and build community along the way. And Mythical Games could get players and user-generated content with PromptNFT. This is our team, and with that, I'll hand it off to my teammate, who will do a brief demo of our product.
All right, so we'll start off with the contest creator workflow, and then we'll follow that up with the user workflow. So contest creators go to the create page to create new contests. They first enter in the description, which will guide users when entering prompts and creating new art. So let's say, help me design new furniture for my apartment. So every single contest that's created is an ERC 721 NFT smart contract. So typically when you create an NFT smart contract, you enter in the name as well as the symbol. In our case, the host is the name, and then the symbol, Twitter handle, or acronym, or anything like that can be the actual symbol. So let's say it's like this. The end date is when the contest itself is going to be over. So let's choose the 27th. The pot amount is how much you deposit to the contest, which is also the amount that is winnable by participants. So let's make this 500 Canto. And then the submission fee is how much you have to pay to actually enter the contest if you're a user. And then we click create. We see that we're depositing 500 Canto, confirm. And that is it for contest creators. Users go to the prompt test page to actually enter contests. So here they can see the total amount of Canto that they can potentially win, total number of contests that are available, and total number of submissions to all contests. So we can choose any one of these contests. Let's say that we want to make some impressionism art. So when you click into a contest, you go to this page. It tells you when the contest is over, pull them out, number of submissions, and then we can see two views. We can see the gallery view, which displays all of the submissions to the contest, and then the Make a Submissions tab, which is the place where you can actually create a submission. So in the gallery tab, depending on the permissions you have for your account, you'll see different functionality for each card. So in this case, this account is also a judge, so it can vote on these submissions. But if I switch over to a different account, we see that that functionality disappears. So let's try and make a submission. So we've inherently integrated Stable Diffusion into the workflow. So if we enter in something like, let's say, Glacier National Park, sunny day, painted by Monet. So since this is directly integrated, you don't have to go and use a model out externally and then upload an image. You have to wait typically 10 to 15 seconds for this to actually work. But once this is done, what we do is we hit enter prompt test, we pay the submission fee, and then in the background, this mints a new NFT, which is essentially a new submission to this contest. So confirm, it's minting the new NFT. Then once this is done, we can go back to the gallery and we can see our new submission. Once the contest is over, rewards are distributed to 3 parties. So they're distributed to the contest participants, so the winning submissions, as well as the developers and the judges. 85% of it goes to the winning submissions, 10% of it goes to the developers, and 5% goes to the judges. To claim rewards, all you have to do is go to an account where you've actually won. So on this account, I had a winning submission. So to claim my rewards for this contest, I just click here, hit confirm, and then that's it. And you've claimed your rewards. And that's essentially it. Thank you so much for your time.
Cool, thank you for that prompt. I'm gonna invite the judges back up stage. Any reactions while we wait for David from Prompt to join?
I'm curious who the target audience for this is. Like, is it for people who aren't good at art but want to issue their own NFT collection?
Hey, so can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, so the idea is like essentially make it such that anybody can go ahead and host a contest. So, if I want to crowdsource making my Twitter profile picture, I can do that. And on the user side, you want to make it as frictionless as possible. So obviously, like making art using Stable Diffusion or DALL-E is super simple. You just type in a few words, pay a submission fee, and then effectively you have like a good shot at winning some money. But yeah.
So it kind of boils down to like who can engineer the best prompt to give the best results for what you're looking for.
Exactly. Yeah.
I like the project. It looks really sick. Like UI and UX wise, it just looks very, very sick. Congrats on that. I also think it's really fun. I wonder, like, yeah, besides the target audience that you guys already mentioned, do you see like these going beyond just a really cool kind of like game-like platform for AI prompts? Because like who creates the best prompt in AI art is something really important, of course, and the good AI artists are the ones that create the best prompts, but they probably don't need to enter a contest. What's the final like output? Is it for the culture? Is it for the fun?
Yeah, for sure. Oh, I actually have one of my teammates with me. You can answer that question.
Yeah, so definitely the genesis of our idea was to have a sort of contest model because that sort of builds in a lot of virality. But we've definitely been thinking about that same question for a while. And we think there's a lot of things we can do with it going forward. So for example, we could create an entire marketplace on the platform for those NFTs. And I don't necessarily think contests are inherent or implicit to what we're designing, but we think it's a good way to start.
Yeah, and we're also thinking of like potentially integrating like exclusive membership. So if you did have a winning submission beforehand, you can have like access to registering like an address to a username, special leaderboards that essentially like display all the addresses that have previously won, the amount they've won, like their P&L of sorts. But yeah, like this I guess in our eyes, like this is just one of the applications of like AI generated art. And we're just trying to like, seize the opportunity, I guess.
I agree with you. You know, I think it's like it's really cool also that you integrated stable diffusion. But I don't think you should drop the contest, because the contest, as you said, you know, built virality, but also, you know, it's part of like, you know, the way that I'm seeing your platform right now, it's more of like, you know, a game that it's more like producing NFTs. So, you know, I think the contest is fine, but it depends on, you know, who you want as, you know, the end target as well.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we'll definitely keep that in mind moving forward. Thank you for the feedback.
Cool, thanks, David. All right, we will get our next team up here. This is the presentation from Magnet.
Hey everybody, in this video I'm going to give you a little overview of Magnet. So Magnet is a cool Web3 dApp that allows you to generate assets using text to image or image to image, and helps you build your NFT collection on Canto. I'm really excited to show you how it works. So Magnet itself, here's the big thing. Magnet is a magic wand at your fingertips. It has a JPEG lab that allows you to generate assets, and it can be anything: NFTs, memes, and the engine behind this is Stable Diffusion AI, a very powerful tool that is bringing Art 2.0, and Magnet is paving the road to bring this into Web3. So as you can see here, JPEG lab has a template section if you are looking for inspiration. So we can copy the text that allowed to generate this asset using this button. We can also click on it, and the Magnet is showing to us all assets with the same style. And so we can use the import template here. This button allows to copy all the template with all the settings that help to generate this image here. So let's copy spell and try to use it to generate, let's say, 2 assets. All right. Of course, we need to sign in. Okay, let's sign in. Okay, great. Okay, so I'm signing this message with my wallet. Nice. And here is a little surprise. So I got an airdrop to be able to use this feature, and this is cool. So I'm going to claim it now. Nice. Back here. So we see that we have a collection that was created for us on sign-in, which is called Welcome Collection. So we are going to use it to generate. Let's see. It will take some time. So meanwhile, we can go and check out the JPEG editor, allowing to edit images, and so with some basic features. So it's so we can crop, flip, we can add text, and we can use filters also, as you can see. So all the collections are in this section. So as you can see, we can check it out. So we can see also that we have attributes. We can add traits to our assets using this button. So this button will manage all the attributes for this collection. And as you can see, we can then edit the metadata of every asset, and we can select the traits we want to use for this asset. All right, so then we have the deploy collection. So deploy collection is going to help us to deploy our contract, our collection, without the need to hire a developer or anything. So you are going to see, all right, so our assets are ready. Nice. As you can see, we successfully generated 2 images here. So we can zoom in we can add attributes here. What we are going to do now is we are going to deploy this collection. All right, so we have 23 assets, and it is going to help us deploy our collection and get the smart contract ready. So we are going to choose Canto testnet here. Soon we will have the possibility to opt in for the contract secure the revenue that is coming on Kanto very soon. Right, so next here we can choose our sales strategy. So we'll keep it simple, public sale. We are going to choose a price of 0.1 Kanto, and the mint will start today. Okay, next. So here is the reveal strategy. So if we want to reveal our NFTs after mint or after mint out, and then next. So as you can see, you can also add the royalties recipient. All right, so next, and here we can add our team members' addresses to split the revenues that the mint will generate. All right, let's get our smart contract ready. So it's saving and generating the smart contract. So here an overview of our collection, as you can see. So the smart contract was generated. We can also check the code here if we want. So what we are going to do now is deploy our collection, confirm. So Magnet is really simplifying all the process. As you can see, our collection was deployed and Magnet has generated to us a link for mint. Check it out. Okay, I copied the link. Here we go. We have our minting page ready. So here we can start minting, and let's go. I'm going to mint one NFT on Kanto testnet. All right. So we successfully minted our NFT, and here we go. Our asset was revealed in a few seconds. Okay, guys. So this is it. This is Magnet. So for now, continue working on it, and it will going to be live very.
Awesome. Thank you, Magnet. We invited OX Merkle to main stage. Any reactions on Magnet?
What a thing to build. That must have taken forever. Is this something that you guys did all within this hackathon, or was some of the UI put together beforehand, or did you build the entire UI, the contract creator, like all of that stuff just for this hackathon?
OX Merkle, you're muted if you're trying to respond. Maybe some audio problems. If you could just go ahead and reply in the chat, then.
Hi, guys.
Hey.
Hello. All right. Okay, great. So this is all right. Yeah, this is Merkle. So I'm the builder of Magnet.
Yeah. The question is basically, there's a lot to build here. This front end is pretty polished. Smart contract builder that gives you the ability to choose different royalties and revealing schemes. This would take me a long time to build. I'm wondering if you built it all for this hackathon within a certain amount of days, or and also how many people worked on what? How did it all come together?
Okay, yeah. So actually, I started the project. The first commit actually was 28 days ago. So I had the vision for Magnet just before the hackathon launch, and I am the only developer on the project. So yeah, I locked myself in the basement to finish the project. It's not yet
That's
finished,
awesome.
so it's an ongoing project.
just being able to give people those different reveal schemes, setting up the revenue splitting, like it's a great product. It's a good build, and I'm impressed that you were able to get this all done in such a small amount of time. Most importantly, like make sure you keep building and keep putting things like this into the ecosystem. Something will be a banger eventually if this one's not.
Very cool.
Yeah, I agree with people in the chat. That's a lot to do for a single developer. Good job.
Thanks.
When you
Thanks.
mint
Thanks
one,
so much.
does it choose like a random variation based on the prompt, or is it preset?
Just actually, there is a lagging in the audio, so I think there's some issues with my audio.
Okay, it might be best to move on because we're running short on time. But thank you so much. That was an epic build, and I think pretty impressive. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and invite the next team to stage and get their video ready. This is NFT Manager.
Yeah, I'm CJ from Team CN, and I'm here to present to you NFT Manager. This is our hackathon project deployed on Kanto network, and our project is an NFT marketplace. You could create NFTs and trade them in our project. So this project, what makes this project unique, or the problem we are trying to solve, is actually incentivization of original creators. That is, where NFTs are traded, the creators are not usually put in the equation of, when the value of this token is increasing, the creator don't usually benefit or are not usually incentivized by this increase in value from their original work. So our project kind of gives royalty to creators and original owners of tokens using the EIP 2981 standard. That's the NFT royalty standard. We've made this so that you could mint NFTs and decide the royalty that you would want to collect for your token. So here, this NFT is uploaded in IPFS, the decentralized storage of the web, and we are going to go ahead and name it. I'll name it Good Work, and then you give it a description. Girl working, and the price. Basically, the normal procedure of creating NFTs, and we add the royalty. So this is going to be used in calculating what percentage of whatever price this token is sold for that would go to the creator. That is, whenever this token is sold, a certain percentage, or it's a percentage of the price, goes to the creator of this token, which is in this case me. So we are going to go ahead and mint this token, and my MetaMask is currently prompted, and I'll have to pay for gas and mint this token. So I'm currently, so that was successful, and we will be automatically redirected to our dashboard, where we could see tokens that are associated with the address connected, that is mine. So these are the tokens that I've minted or that are associated with my address, and here I can decide whether I want to add them to the marketplace, where anyone that is connected could see it and decide to buy it. So these are currently the NFTs I have, and these ones are already in the market. I'll just go ahead and add this to the market. So yeah, we also collect a listing fee in our marketplace, which is 0.05 Kanto. Yeah, so once that is paid and the transaction is confirmed on chain, the NFT will be added to the marketplace, where anyone that is connected will be able to view this NFT and can purchase it from the marketplace. it would then that it will be displayed in their own dashboard, where they will now decide whether they want to resell or maybe hold on to the token. So we are going to go to the marketplace, and yeah, this is my token that I just added to the marketplace for 2ETH, and I have 2 other tokens in the marketplace which are also 2ETH. This is basically it. There is more to be done, but for the submission, we just want to get the feedback of the mentors, and yeah, I hope you guys.
Great, well done. We sent an invite to Team CN, Chijioki. Any reactions? Lots of stable diffusion, lots of NFT projects in this round.
Maybe a good question might be, if you build an NFT marketplace with a fee system in which you're getting revenue, what's keeping someone from forking your system and taking the fee out of it?
Maybe having trouble getting onto stage, but
is there like a difference between like a good stable diffusion artist and a bad stable diffusion artist, or is it kind of like the same? Anyone can create similar quality work.
Well, thanks. That's an awesome presentation. Amazing front end. And I think if any of the judges have questions, they'll ask in the chat, and you can go ahead and respond there. For sake of time, I'm gonna queue up the next project. Thanks so much.
Good project. Keep building.
Okay, this next one, I know that they're not present to answer questions, and they're an existing project in the Canto ecosystem, CantoSwap and Provenant, which is an NFT marketplace that's currently up. Icy is the dev, and they've made some updates that they wanted to submit for the hackathon. So we have a 2-in-1 video here.
Hello everyone, let's have a short demo for CantoSwap. Let's buy some matrix. Here we can see the settings. Alright, the transactions pop up. Confirm it. Alright, now that we have some matrix, we can add some liquidity. We go for Kanto matrix pair. Alright. Now that we have the tokens, we just approve it. Confirm. Okay, now we can supply whatever amount you need. Alright, let's go to the farm tab. Here we have all the pools. We have our LP here. This needs to approve. The button is enabled. Alright, so now we deposited our LP, so the farming will start. Okay, now that we've done this, we see here the APRs, and we should see our liquidity right now. Yes, here we can claim, withdraw, deposit. Just confirm it, and you will claim your matrix rewards from the farming. Let's have a look on the NFT mint page. Here you can see your items. Just connect the wallet And on the stake side, if you stake your NFT, you have them. You can unstake them wherever you want. You can unclaim. You can claim the rewards. Each NFT generates matrix rewards. Now the NFTs should appear here. Alright, this is the main page. All the collection list is Kanto Punk's collection. Here you can have you can see the details, all the listed items. Here you can set the price, just needs to be approved. Alright, just confirm, and now we can sell it. Alright, this is the listing price. You can undo the transaction. Yes, so this is the market. Here we have Kanto longnecks. Listing price, you can buy it. Kanto's collection also.
Icy's not here to make any comments or answer any questions, but just wanted to get some reactions here. Definitely loving the ASMR quality of the audio.
There's a lot going on here, right? It was not just, it's like Uniswap and OpenSea smashed into a Canto style app, right? You had both, you swapped the matrix and provided liquidity for it, and then you switched over to NFTs and bought and sold NFTs. I think that's what, so it's basically like a front end on a handful of different markets. But that's awesome. It was a cool build. Love the style too.
All right, since other judges are quiet, I'll leave you guys to the chat to make any comments.
I was gonna say, like, the technical ability to pull that off and like doing like a swap and then having the data availability for NFTs is pretty hard. Pretty hard to do in a 28-day time frame. And so I think that's like something commendable. I mean, I know there's not like a bunch of NFT collections on Canto, but like, you know, you have to basically build a fetcher, right? Like first we have to get notified through like some sort of like subgraph stack that like a new NFT collection has been deployed, right? And then we need to bubble that up, and then we need to then go inspect the contract, get the metadata, and then the images, and then we have to like come back and cache those, or we can fetch them in line, which is like, you know, like a slow user experience if it's going through IPFS. And so like that's quite a bit of work. It's very impressive.
Cool. Well done, Icy. If you're watching or watching later, we will take a look. And of course, those two sites are up now, CantoSwap and Provenant.art. I'm going to move along and bring up the next project, Canto Name Service.
Welcome to Canto Name Service. My name is Dangy Wing, and I am one of 3 hooligans who put together the Canto Name Service that we present to you today. It's myself, Zodomo, and Club Nataro. We based Canto Name Service off of Lineage, which was an old name service, one of the first contracts deployed on Ethereum, actually. So it's a very rudimentary implementation because it's a hackathon. So we did not mimic all of ENS's features, but we did implement something new and something a little different. We are fans of paradigms, and so we are using Vergdas to price the names. So what we're doing is every time a name is sold from us, then the pricing will change based upon demand. So if the market wants more one-letter names, the price of one-letter names will go up. If the market doesn't buy one-letter names, then the price will go down. So we have also scaled the desired price. In this demo version, it is simply 6 Canto down to 1 for the cheapest level, and it's going by length of name. So 1 letter, 6 Canto, 2 letter, 5 Canto, 3 letter, on and on and on. And we built, I built a pretty front end for us to use, and let's show you what we have. So let's go connect our MetaMask. Perfect. Now we'll pick a name to register. So let's do Canto is the best. And how many years? We will say 1. And now we submit. And we'll see it's 1.88 Canto here to register. It's because for testing purposes, I've registered some names already. So once this processes, then we will go over to our account. And it may actually have already done that. Yes, if we go to my account, now we'll see that I have registered this name, Canto is the best, already. And we have the expiration of 1 year from today. And some other features that we have is the ability to delegate names. So if somebody wants to give you some Canto to borrow their name, you can. That's what this gift icon represents. So if we wanted to delegate, we could say, who are we going to delegate Canto is the best to, and for how long? This is measured in days. We also would show the expiry of the delegation, which it cannot exceed the time that you own the name. And this button, which should be labeled, is for setting as your primary name, which is the main purpose. So let's go ahead and click it. Here we go. And once we confirm that, we'll go ahead and disconnect and reconnect, and we'll show you that it resolves to our primary name. So once we connect the name, now we see primary name, Canto is the best. Primary CNS name, Canto is the best. There we go. CNS, quick and easy. Our future plans, we include a lot of refinement to the front end, and we want to add an API that will let other people use and just resolve names quickly and easily, much like they can with ENS, as well as we can do some manual adjustments on pricing if we need to adjust based upon needs. And that's the main reason why we're doing this in the testnet, because we didn't want you judges to get the good names early. So the rollout will have to be planned and hyped up through marketing, and that way people will have a fair shake at getting the premium names as you see on ENS. So thank you for taking the time for reviewing our project. Thank you to my team for helping out, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.
Awesome presentation. Zodomo Club Notaro, you are here on stage with us. If the judges have any questions.
Hello. Hey, yo.
Joe, where are you at with the paradigm shout out? The VRGD.
For what? Are we talking
for Vergnes?
Vergnes.
Vergnes? I don't know. I'm out of the loop here.
The price.
So Vergnes are
on, yeah, you go.
Oh.
So yeah.
VRGDAs. Yeah. Is that here?
Yeah, variable rate gradual Dutch auctions.
Yeah, that's like the sickest. I like that model. It's great.
We found it quite interesting because we saw that Justin Roiland's NFT project, Art Gobblers, is going to be using it, and we decided that it would be a pretty apt way of pricing 1 or 2 character names. We decided to apply it on all names between 1 and 5 characters, 6 onwards just being a stable price, I believe. But effectively, ENS doesn't really sell 1 character names currently, I don't believe, because they're waiting for some better way to drop it. We figure allowing the market to decide what a 1-letter name should be is a good system, and the Verg has allowed us to do that. It was actually quite fun working with them.
Are you going to do that? Are you going to vary that on a basis of the length, right? So 1 letters have their own VRGDA, 2 letters have their other VRGDA, or is it the whole system, and then I get to bid, and then I get to like, it's like kind of like one for every like period of time. What's the design?
So we used a factory deployment method that essentially sets up a unique VRGDA for each length, and then the price function just determines which VRGDA is used.
Right. Yeah, but what if, like, you can totally do that, but what if you did it for all of them, right? You only had one VRGDA, and so like all the like the first 26 days or whatever, you're selling like one letter names, right? And then like as you go on, I don't know, it could take forever.
True. Ultimately, in the final implementation, we intend to make the VRGDAs adjustable. So if we decide at some point, or even if a DAO decided maybe, if the names were selling too slowly, if the rate that was determined is too fast or too slow, effectively there will be some controls that will allow for the VRGDA to be altered. Because one of the critical pieces of the VRGDA is how many do you want to issue per amount of time, right? So that's kind of where the root of it is formed, and we can change those values retroactively. We don't have to like resynchronize the VRGDA or do anything that would prevent that from being an option available to us.
Yeah, that's cool. That's a good design.
Yeah, and then the only other feature I'd like to touch on a little bit is the delegation feature. Effectively, right now with systems like ENS, you can only really sell your names to other people, right? With our delegate system, we basically allow someone else to use their the usage rights of their name without actually having the transfer rights effectively. So ultimately, as we implement more features and more develop it out further, names that have been delegated to other people, they can use them in all those features without having any risk or ability to take the name from the original owner. And delegation is almost a way where individual owners of names can become registrars themselves. So the people who like to collect all of these names, instead of selling them and they get that one-time return on their investment, delegation allows them to get paid yearly on their names. People can decide how long to pay for the name. It basically works on a renewal basis, just like normal website domains work today. But it effectively decentralizes what is today the GoDaddies and registers of the world.
Is there a particular domain extension, or is it just a plain string? Is it like .canto or anything?
So the fun thing about that actually is I'm pretty sure when it comes to ENS, Linergy, every domain name system, at least on Ethereum, what's happening with the extension of your name is actually more of a social construct than actually implemented. So everybody's decided, since we know where the ENS registrar is, right, for ENS as our example, any name that's called against that contract should end in .eth, right? When another platform or a name service gets deployed, socially people decide, for Linergy, we've decided it ends in .og, right? So that extension is kind of implemented by the platforms that are displaying the name. So anyone, we could use Canto, but ultimately we believe that Canto should just ultimately decide what it is, whether they want it to be CNS, .canto. Ultimately, once we get this implemented into wallets and stuff is where we'll just decide to show, hey, if we get it done first, I guess we can take .canto. But yeah, once it's out there, that kind of will get worked in.
Excellent presentation. Thank you guys so much. For sake of time, we're gonna move along and invite the next team up. Here is the presentation from Kanto with a K.
Hey everyone, we're the team behind Kanto the game. That's Kanto spelled with a K. Kanto is a Pokemon-themed slot machine game. The objective of the game is to walk around the map and capture as many Pokemons as you can. To move around the map, the player simply has to click on where they want to go, and we have built in a route planning feature so that the character can avoid the obstacle that's on the map. Before you can capture any Pokemon, you would first have to get a few Pokeballs, and the character can walk up to the top right-hand corner to go to the Kanto store. That's where you can buy the Pokeballs. The Pokeballs are purchased with a native Kanto currency, so when you click on the checkout, your MetaMask will pop up asking you to confirm the transaction. With the Pokeballs now, we're ready to capture some Pokemons. And to do that, we just walk around the map until we randomly encounter a Pokemon. One of the things we've decided to do is to hide the identity of the Pokemon during the capture process so that the player wouldn't be able to cancel the transaction if they didn't encounter a Pokemon that they desire. And behind the scenes, we're taking the terrain that the player is on as well as the Pokeball that they choose to do the capture into consideration when deciding whether or not the Pokemon is actually captured. The type of Pokemon that's encountered is dependent on the terrain. So if I walk down near the water, I can capture a water type Pokemon. There we go. One of the most important mechanics behind a slot machine is allowing the player to win so that they can continue to reinvest their earnings back into the game. So we've built a trade back feature into the game. So the player can just walk up to the store and they can just click on the trade back and be able to sell the Pokemon they've just captured back to the game for the native Kanto currency. And yeah, that's about it. If we had a little bit more time, we would have added more sound effects and animation during the capture process. But that's our game in a nutshell. Thank you very much.
Amazing presentation there. We have Guy Hance, who is from the project.
Hey guys.
I love the route finding, the route finding stuff. That was really fun. The project looks awesome.
Oh, awesome.
The route finding is fun. The gambling aspect is very Kanto-ish. What goes on chain? Is the movement actually on chain, or is that off chain? And it's more like what's on chain?
So the movement is off chain. It's really the calculating the odds of whether you encounter the right Pokemon and whether you're able to capture that Pokemon. That's all happening on chain. And behind the scenes, we're using ERC 1155 to keep track of the individual Pokemons. So our goal is really to build it into NFT so that there is more things you can do on the Kanto network. I mean, we love the Kanto culture, but there's not much to do here. So we're trying to create more content so that instead of depending on the traffic of the Kanto network to spread the word for Kanto the game, we can be something that can drive additional traffic to come onto the Kanto network.
Do you plan on replacing it with original IP, or is it meant to stay kind of like a fork of Pokemon?
Yeah, so one of the reasons why we decided to go with Pokemon is just because we didn't have the time for the sake of the hackathon to design original IP, but the goal is to change it to original IP, but with similar mechanics where you purchase item and then you use the item to capture different things and then you can potentially sell that back.
Did you guys build that game engine yourselves?
Actually, it's a very, very simple front end. So we didn't use any game engine. What you're looking at for the map is just a map that we screenshot from an actual Pokemon game. And we created a collision map on top of that, just black or white, where black is the collision and white is blocks that you can walk on. And then we just rendered, we just parsed through that PNG to tell the front end system which block they can actually land on and which one they cannot. And so it's very hacky in that way, but I think it worked quite well. We did consider using a game engine, but we just felt it's a lot more complex integrating a existing game engine with the Web3 components. So we just decided to build something quick and dirty, and it's fairly performant, I think. So
yeah, real cool.
Great work. Awesome presentation. Thanks, Guy. We're going to move along to the next project. We got two more home stretch. This next one is a DeFi category, Y2R Finance.
Hello, judges. This is Y2R Finance, and today I would like to introduce our protocol in these four aspects. First and foremost, let's talk about what is Y2R Finance. Actually, we are trying to solve the problem that Kanto learning markets are providing users with an extremely high APR, But how to maximize Canto users' gains? Actually, compounding is necessary. With compounding, users' gains are increasing exponentially instead of linearly. However, manually harvesting is inefficient and causes high gas fee. So here comes our solution, that we automatically do a set of things as followings with our smart contracts. Actually, we're just compounding for our users. Here is a picture from Kanto lending market. You can see the APR here. By comparison, this is the APY from our protocol. Users' gains is soaring by a large amount. Second, I will introduce how do we work. Here shows a diagram of our protocols. As you can see here, the users put their funds into the strategy by calling the deposit function of the vault. And whenever users want to withdraw their funds, they just call the withdraw function, and the fund is returned to the users immediately. Besides, we have an off-chain bot, which frequently calls the strategy's harvest function to compound. Third, I would like to talk about our codes and security. All of our codes and contracts are highly modularized, that we can upgrade our contracts once needed. Also, we have a strict invoking sequence that only the vaults can call the function of the strategies, so that safety is ensured. And also, we can introduce new strategies in the future as soon as possible whenever Canto Chain has updated some AMMs or lending markets or lending pools. As for security, we use standard ERC20 contracts to ensure safety, and we do have a layered management, including governance, which is decided by the users' votes, and strategists who come up with new strategies, and also a keeper who will keep an eye on all of our contract states. We have already done an internal audition. One of our developers is from Code4Arena, and he has carefully reviewed all of our codes. We have also a function called Panic to deal with cases of emergency that the keeper can call. If an emergency happens, the keeper will call the Panic function to halt the strategy and ensure the safety of the user's funds. Last but not least, I would like to introduce our governance module. We're totally decentralized use autonomy, that we do not have extra governance tokens. We only issue one token called Y2R token. It is a token for depositing, and users can stake Y2R token into our staking contract for the voting right. When they participate in our governance by staking their Y2R token, they will be rewarded, and this will inspire our users to participate in our governance. Besides, we do have a Canto style that we will use CSR to reward our developers. And we also use Note to calculate the price and TVL of our protocol to build the Canto Note strong ecosystem. And we do fulfill our goal is to make the free public infrastructure. That is the end of this video. Thank you.
Excellent. We have Y2R Finance here on stage to answer any questions.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
Thank you. So maybe some questions.
Well, first, I'll mention that this is the first project, I think, that called out the contract secured revenue, which is kind of interesting. Maybe Scott, can you give a kind of quick overview on what that is?
Yeah, contract secured revenue is an upgrade that it's mainly written at this point. Just kind of getting close to audits for Canto, where when you deploy a contract, you sort of send it through a metaphorical turnstile, and then that mints an NFT. And because Canto can kind of control the EVM side and the protocol layer, that NFT gets the ability to claim accumulated Canto on the protocol side, and that Canto accumulates as like 20% of the base fee that's paid for transaction inclusion. The base fee being sort of EIP 1559, like when you burn on ETH. That's kind of like how Canto works right now. And so 20% of that base fee will go to that NFT holder, whether that's a smart contract or a multi-sig or just like EOA.
Cool. And props to Y2R for thinking of a way to incorporate CSR into your project.
Oh, well, yes, we do use CSR, and we do plan to use CSR, and we want to use it to reward our developers so that we can just do not charge any fees from our users. We just get reward from the gas or the Canto paid by users when they transact. Yeah, like that.
Cool. Well, I think all the judges will ask any of their questions in the chat. I do believe that your project is live now and folks can interact with it. Is that right, Y2R?
Yes, and we have reached like 200 kilo notes. Yeah, and I think that's a good thing. Yeah.
Cool. Congrats. Great presentation.
Thanks.
Okay, we'll get the last project here queued up. Thank you again to all the teams who've presented and submitted to this season of the hackathon so far. Without further ado, last but not least, we have Meep Meep.
Meep Meep there, Canto Hackathon jury. My name is Hackaneck, and I am a Canto long neck. I will be your guide through this presentation that will last, roughly speaking, around 5 minutes. First, we will review the contract, then we will go over the UI and follow with some cosmetics you can purchase in-game. After that, we will talk about the business viability and the why of this project. Finally, we will talk about some points where we need further development. I hope you enjoy the ride, Meep along with me. First of all, what is Meep Meep? Meep Meep is a strategy game that takes place fully on chain with generated long necks as your in-game characters. All long necks appear on the center of an hex-like map with 40 cells. The goal is to end the match with more eggs than the others. There are two phases: 1, move; 2, reveal. In move swipe phase, you take your CL into any adjacent cell you think will be the least swiped, and you can swipe any cell in the map, looking for eggs. In the reveal phase, you get to know where people moved and where they swiped. You have heat maps that provide you with relevant info in order to organize your own strategy. Now that we know how Meep Meep works, let's go real quick over the contract. The contract consists of 6 parts: Meep Meep, game state, player, tile, game board, booster. All of these elements are explained in depth in the GitHub repo README and are documented up to standards. Here's a link. That was inside of the game. Now, we will focus on the surface of it, the UI. The UI consists of 6 panels: stats, board, chat, leaderboard, heat map, and logs. The stats are your main game report, including all data shown here. The main board is the interface with which the user interacts to choose where to move and where to swipe. During the reveal phase, it becomes an expanded heat map, displaying information about the position and swipes of all the players. The miniaturized heat maps show aggregate data that players use to weigh their moves. They include last swiped cells, current player's position, and your own swipes. Unlike the expanded heat map, the miniaturized ones remain visible during the move phase. The chat allows the players from the same lobby to interact, although it won't be on-chain. The leaderboard lists players based on who has the most eggs. The logs list everything that happened in the previous phase. Another important part of Meep Meep is the cosmetics you can either buy or earn through playing. Meep Meep aims to be the most customizable to give our fellow long necks an exclusive experience. Meep Meep aims to be the most customizable to give our fellow long necks an exclusive experience. Regarding long necks holders, when you connect your wallet to Meep Meep, it unlocks all the metadata traits of all the long necks you own for using the game. You can mix and match any of the traits you've unlocked in the cosmetic editor in your profile. As for non-holders, at first, your will be a random generated long necks. When you play and earn some eggs, you can exchange those eggs for cosmetics. You can also buy eggs directly with no. By now, you should have a clear vision of the game. But how do I make any profit with this game? Well, that is easy. Every user pays X amount of note for joining a match. Then, all those entry fees are collected to create a pot. Protocol deducts its fees from the pot. Players are rewarded at the end of each match depending on how many eggs swiped. By the way, long necks holders get a discount on the entry fee. Sounds good, doesn't it? We have come a long way, but this just started. That is why we have to recognize that there is a lot of work left to do. Without the intent to be exhaustive, these are some of the things we need to focus on. Multi-chain tech research and implementation, polishing the contract, fully implement contract test functions with Foundry, contract audit, protect your neck, development on the front-end UI, seed round and capital attraction for long necks to have all the needed resources to conquer main neck. As you have seen, long necks loves Kanto blockchain, and Meep Meep success relies heavily on Kanto blockchain success. That is why we are heavily committed to bring excellence to this chain and further promote it to grow together. Thanks for your time. Meep you later.
Wow. That was one of the coolest things I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, super big.
Yeah, that was really good. I love the meme. I love the Meep Meep meme.
How do you hide? Okay, so if there's a game and depending on where you move, you're going to get a lot more points. How do you hide that information since it's all on chain? Are you doing some kind of like commit reveal? Are you doing some ZK stuff? How do you do that?
I think the answer to that question was Meep Meep.
Commit reveal, Austin.
Cool.
I think Gray's having a little trouble with the audio. No, his laptop just broke.
Oh, bummer. But it was a great presentation. I mean, it seems like Long Neck crowd is here in the chat for
Wait,
sure.
hey, Robin. DevNeck says he's supposed to be on stage.
Oh yeah, let me get you up. DevNeck, you're up.
The game provider itself commits and then later on reveals what the scores were? So do you have to trust the protocol?
Seems like some problems with audio here. Well, you guys can go ahead and share in the chat. I'm sorry that there's trouble with the audio on stage here, but that's an awesome presentation.
Devin, did you hit the allow to use your microphone? Oh, while he's getting back up here, I noticed Canto name service on Twitter. They had some blue shutter shades infrastructure imagery. If you want Robin and I to find new Ansel Adam posters or new Roman ruins and create new blue shutter stage graphics for you, just ping us. You can have some originals. Assume, Robin, that's okay.
100%.
Oh, okay. My laptop imploded, and I was listening to Meep Meep presentation on a loop. It was crazy.
Yeah. Hey, Devin, or Gray, how does the Sybil can the game be Sybil attacked, or why not? Can the game be? What happens if I have multiple players? Can I exploit the game, or how does would I benefit from entering with multi-entering and then coordinating my moves between players?
So definitely that's That's a very good question. You're gonna have to pay all the entry fees for those players. So I imagine like we will have to figure that out. Usually the game is gonna have like a lot of players. It's not gonna be like 10 to 20. So you're gonna have to pay upfront a lot of money if you're willing to do that. Other than that, yeah, that neck, if you can answer that in the chat, that will be awesome. Because I'm not a dev, so that's dev neck has to intervene here.
I have a suspicion there is a more game theoretic answer to that question. Potentially.
Yeah. What happened? Can you invite?
Just what is the game Sybil resistant? Like what happens if I enter with 100 players and coordinate moves? Can I just win the game and cheat everyone? All right, maybe that can be addressed later.
Yeah, I think it's right in. It should be.
Okay.
One thing I really love is that you don't have to be a long neck holder to play. I think that's really great for inviting new people into the Canto ecosystem.
Yeah.
But on the topic of long necks, maybe we want to mention that they're minted out. Congratulations on being the first mint out for Canto. That's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you a lot.
And maybe and they're on the secondary market right now. There's a few marketplaces coming to fruition for Canto, like Alto, but I know that they are on Provenant art right now. If anyone wants to pick up a long neck.
Yeah. So regarding that you don't really need a neck to play the game, that's pretty awesome because you have all these games in Web3. Because the public in Web3, their aim is to profit some money. So these games need to give them a reason. Most of the time, the reason is for some crazy tokenomics or some inflationary system. So we don't really need that, neither to profit or neither to have an entertainment. Of course, if you have a long neck, you're gonna have some discounts you seen in the video. But our goal is to promote Kanto more and to let everyone play and to let everyone have a good time. And since you are paying for playing the game and then you have this pot, we don't really need any crazy tokenomics to profit from that. And yeah, we have this marketplace right now, Provenant, and there has been some crazy volume. We are pretty happy about that.
Awesome. Well, amazing presentation. Sorry about the hiccup on the audio. I think we all got to hear the whole thing. Yeah. Thank you, everybody. That concludes all of the projects that submitted to the Co for this season. Please do me a favor and follow the Co on Twitter. We're going to have some other hackathons in the upcoming months, and we'll always be inviting builders to help grow the Canto ecosystem. As for judges, I think that everybody's going to talk it out backstage, and we will announce the winners of prizes tomorrow. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time. Thank you, judges. Thank you, teams. Congrats on submitting.
Yeah, thanks, everyone. Those were like ridiculously good.
Yeah, blew my mind. Like I was expecting like super like middle of the road stuff. It was so good.
Same.
Yeah, thank you to everyone who submitted and participated, and all the judges as well.
Yeah, I think we actually have more people on at the end of the hackathon than the beginning, and this was almost 2 hours here.
You can rewatch this recording here at this link, or we will share a YouTube link in the Canto Discord. So anyone who missed the event or joined late, you'll be able to see all the projects. And of course, we'll announce the winners tomorrow, so you could take a look. Thanks again, everybody. I'm going to end the broadcast now. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.